is Vidyalakshmi, English teacher, working is Trinity Academy, Namakkal. Now we are going to see Class 9 English. Unit 3, Prose, Old Man River, written by Dorothy Deming. About the author. Dorothy Deming was born in 1893 in New Haven, Connecticut, America. She studied at the Yale University and graduated as a nurse. She is well known as an American nurse and children's writer. She joined the American Public Health Association and published very successful books on public health. She has also written some fictional novels. The characters in this drama: Amy Marshall, 17 years old; Betty Marshall, her younger sister; Rose Field, 16 years old, the Marshall's neighbor; Sarah Field, 9 years old, Rose's sister; Jim Hull, 17 years old, another neighbor; Mr. Peter, member of the Red Cross Disaster Committee; Penny Marsh, Red Cross nurse. Scene 1. Amy, Betty and Rose are sitting around the living room table. Amy and Rose are knitting. Betty is looking at the pictures in a magazine. The stage is not very bright. Conversation between Rose, Amy and Betty. Rose: goodness, it gets dark early on these rainy days. Mind if I raise the shade a bit, Amy? Amy: no, do, but I guess we need the light on too. She goes over and puts on the electrical light. Rose: going to the window. How it rains in sheets, and look, your backyard is a small lake. Amy: gracious, I have never seen it rain so hard, and this is the third day of it. Betty then puts down magazine and runs to the window. Wee! It's more than a lake, it's a sea. The radio said the river was above flood stage this morning, whatever that means. Amy: it means that the water is above that white line on the bank at the Thompson Bridge. It must have concerned the South Meadows and the highway there. Rose: it isn't only the rain, it's the snow melting in the hills in the northern part of the state. Then the girls return to the table. Oh, I hope we don't have a flood here. There is a noise of stamping feet and someone breathing hard. The girls all look to the right, the directions of the sound. Now, Jim Hall entering. Entering from right in shining wet raincoat and rain helmet, which he drags off as he enters. He is panting. Gosh, girls, it's a cloud burst. He kicks off his shoes. I have run every step of the way from school to get here. The river is rising fast. The Burnett Dam gave way an hour ago, they say, and it looks bad. Where is your mother, Amy? Amy replied. She took Dick to the dentist and was going to stop at Mrs. Bennett's for a recipe on her way home. She ought to be here soon. Jim, and your father? Amy: in Chicago on business, but why all the questions, Jim? Jim: well, you see, he is interrupted by the ring of the telephone. Amy exists left to answer it. Her voice can be heard clearly. Amy: hello. Yes, mother. I know. Isn't it awful? How will you get home? Yes, mother, I am listening carefully. Amy's voice grows very serious. Yes, yes, I will. No, mother, no, I won't. Jim Hall is here and Rosefield too. Yes, all right, I will tell them. Goodbye. Amy returns to the room. She is looking very sacred. Mother can't get home from Mrs. Bennet's. The bridges between here and town are under water. Rose, mother says you are to telephone your mother right away and tell her you will spend the night here. Rose, I will. That will be fun. Hurries from the room. Amy, Betty, you and I ought to fill all the bowls, tubs, pails, and pitchers with the fresh water in case the town supply is cut off or made unsafe to drink. Mother says she hopes you will stay and help us, Jim. Jim, that's why I came. Amy, I think I will look up a lantern and Betty, interrupting, I have got a flashlight. I will give it and some candles. Rose, from outside, still at the telephone with irritation. I am trying to get main 3022. I can't. There is a pass, and Rose comes to the door, her face frightened. The telephone is dead. I can't get central. There isn't even a buzzing on the line. Jim, means the lines are down between here and town. Well, girls, let's get organized. Betty, look up your flashlight and candles, lamps, lanterns, or anything you have got. Rose, fill the tubs and pails, and Amy and I will check on food, blankets, and coats. Better get you the first aid kit. Everyone make it snappy. Rose and Betty exit left. Jim turns to Amy. This is serious, Amy. I don't want to scare you, but your house is in the direct line of the river. If the dam has given way, he goes to the window. Well, if it has, you can see for yourself that it means we can't get out by the main road. And we are already cut off from the south side. Look, he points out the window and joins him. She snaps. Amy, Jim, the water is up around the garage. I thought it was just a pool in the garden, but it's. Amy, Jim, the water is up around the garage. I thought it was just a pool in the garden, but it's. Jim, the river. Yes, hey, that's Old Man River himself creeping up to your door. Jim and Amy watch it a moment. Amy shudders. Oh, Jim, I am scared, said Amy. Jim, placing a hand on her shoulder, steady old pal. We have been through bad things before and come out safely. Remember the school fire. First thing, we must not let the others how scared we are. Next, get all the things you can together here. Water, food, blankets, coats, lights. I am glad I served on the Junior Red Cross Emergency Squad during the World War. It's too bad you live in a bungalow instead of a two-story house, but we can always climb into the attic and onto the roof. Amy, still staring out the window. How fast is the river racing? Do you think, Jim? Jim, I don't know, and it might stop before it reaches us. If only the rain would let up. We will signal for help from the roof. They will send a boat or something. Rose, entering left. I have got enough fresh water to last us a week. Who will send a boat for us? Jim. And from where? She goes to the window, screams, Horror! Look at the river. Amy, hush, Rose, don't tell the others. Jim says, we will be all right. Let's see what food we have on hand. Betty, entering lift. Here are the lights. Did you say food? Hark, what's that? All four stand perfectly, still listening. Far off your child voice is heard. Rose, it's me, Sarah. Sarah, where is she? Amy, there is she. On the playhouse porch. How did she get there? Jill goes out calling. Steve, where are you? Sarah, I will get you. Amy, it's lucky the playhouse is on high ground. Rose, still at the window, but it isn't. Look, it's nearly float. The girls gather at the window. There goes Jim. Look, the water is above his knees. Amy, he will need dry clothes. See if you can find some bad things to him. Betty, Sarah can have dicks. Amy, I will make some hot cocoa for everyone. There is a thumping and voices at the right, and Jim enters carrying Sarah. Pick a bag. Sarah is beaming. Sarah, hello everybody. That was a fun ride. Some more, please, Jim. Jim, no, young lady, that enough. You are heavy. She is dry as a bone. Rose, I am not. Amy, I am glad we have an oil stove for cooking. Rose, taking a candle, forward march to the kitchen. Betty takes a candle and follows with Sarah trailing. All exist right, humming. Tramp, 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 the boys are marching. Jim, in a low voice, said to Amy, the river was up another foot, Amy, and that playhouse would have been floating out in the current. At this rate, the floor here will be underwater by morning. Amy, but who? No one is on the main road and there are no houses with sight of us. That will be just a pinpoint of light. Are you sacred? You bet, are you? I am terrified, but I am glad you are here. Jim, we'll see it through if we just keep our heads. Scene 2. At say group is in the living room with the exception of Jim. Sarah is asleep, covered with a blanket in a big chair. Amy, Prose and Betty have three candles on the table. Betty is trying to read. Then Betty put down her book with a thud. I can't read by this light. How do you suppose our grandmothers ever did? Rose, I don't believe they tried to read. I guess they went to bed when it grew dark. Amy, maybe we ought to go to bed. It's nearly 11, but I could not sleep a wink. Betty, nor I. Rose, listen, what's that noise? All three listen. Rose running to the window and preaching out. I can't see a thing. It's pitch dark. It sounded like something bumping against the house. Betty nervously, oh, come back. Let's stick here together. Then Jim entering left in a raincoat carrying flashlight. Battery is dead. I waved it almost 100 times, though maybe somebody saw it. It has been stopped raining anyway, and let us start moving everything to the attic. Bring the food and water first, then the blankets. I will do the carrying up the ladder to the roof, said Jim. Betty, my new spring coat. I am going to save that. She rushes out left, taking a candle with her. Rose, going over to her sister, shaking her gently. Sarah, Sarah, wake up dear. We are going to sleep in the attic. Sarah, oh, where am I? Rose, come on. She helps Sarah to her feet and quickly wraps a blanket around her. To her attic, exists left leading Sarah and taking one of the candles with her. Amy ought to get father's most valuable books and mother's jewel case also. Jim, Amy, we will need water and food more than books and jewels. You don't seem to realize. He is interrupted by a cry from outside right. Mr. Peter, hello there. Hello in the house. Mr. Marshall, Mr. Marshall. Amy, they have come for us. Here we are. She runs to the window. Jim, picking up the third candle from the table, running to the window and waving it back and forth. Betty entering on the run from the left, carrying her dress box. Are we rescued? Who is there? Mr. Peter, still outside. Mr. Marshall, are you all right? This is Tom Peters and Miss Marshall, the Red Cross nurse. We are here in your boat. Jim and Amy exist right towards the voices, more voices greeting, and then Mr. Peters entered the living room with a lighted lantern, followed by Miss Marsh, Amy, and Jim. Betty, we are rescued. We are rescued. Come, Sarah. Mr. Peter, why are you children all alone? Yes, we. There is a terrific crash followed by a wall on pain and scream. Rose, off stage left. Oh, Sarah, she's fallen off. The step ladder. Come quick, somebody. I have dropped my candle and it's gone out. Mr. Peters, Miss Mars, who is carrying a small black bag, and Amy rush off stage left. Betty, oh, I hope she hasn't broke her neck. Jim, get the first aid box. It is in the pile of coats. I will fix a place for her to lie down. He arranges chair so Sarah can lie down. Peter enters left carrying Sarah. Steady now. You are all right. More frightened than hurt, I think. He places Sarah on the chair. Amy, placing the lantern near Sarah. I am glad Miss Marsh is here. Miss Marsh is examining Sarah. Sarah is sobbing softly, saying every so often it hurts. Rose kneels beside Sarah's chair, holding with her hand. Jim stands in the background with Betty. Sarah, it's my leg that hurts. Miss Marsh, yes, you have hurt it badly. Sarah, but we can fix it up and we will get into the boat and take you home. You are going to be all right. She motions to Mr. Peters, Jim, and Amy to move to one side of the stage. Rose stays with Sarah. She has broken her right leg just now below the knee. We can splint it up with pillows and umbrella and lift her safely into the boat. I think we ought to take her to the emergency Red Cross hospital in the armory. Mr. Peter, don't thank me. Thank the Red Cross. He goes over to Sarah and helps lift her into a blanket rolled to form a stretcher. Miss Marsh picks up her bag. Jim and Mr. Peter lift and carry Sarah towards the right. We can swing her down into the boat very easily. It won't hurt a mite. Sarah, get your things. Rose and Betty, you are going with us. Rose and Betty grab their coats. Betty takes her dress box. Sarah drowsily. Miss Marsh gave me something to stop the hurt. It has almost gone. Amy at the door, dropping a kiss on Sarah's forehead as they carry her out. That's fine, dear. Have a nice boat ride. She waves a stretcher, goes out, followed by Rose and Betty. Try to get word to mother that we are all right. Betty and to Jim's family too. Betty, I will try. I hope you will be rescued soon. Bye. Rose, goodbye, Amy. Good luck. Amy, goodbye. There is more thumping, only less loud than before, and voices giving directions. Amy fusses with the lantern, trying to get it lighted. Mr. Peter, off stage. You will be all right, Jim.
Jim on still off stage. Yes, don't worry about us. Goodbye. Voices in distance, the sound of oars. Jim enters the ride, wiping his forehead. Amy gets the lantern lighted and blows out candles. Water's dropping. He pours 2 cups of coffee from Mr. Peter's jar. Hands one to Amy. Raises his cup as though in a toast. Here is the coffee, Latin, and rescue. I am glad we have a wide awake, well equipped disaster committee in this town. Amy and a Red Cross nurse for emergencies. Thank God for the rescue. Both lift the coffee cups and drink, still standing.
The rescue team, with Mr. Peter and Miss Marsh, formed a well equipped disaster committee, so the rescue was very successful. Thank you.